From attic to basement, we're here for From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's right, Taylor 500 help. Taylor 500 help. That's customized service to fit all of your needs for you and your family in your home in the Rochester and surrounding areas. You have a drafty house, Taylor can come in, do an assessment on what your insulation is like. Do you need more insulation? Do you need, to fill some holes in certain areas? Taylor can make sure that you're all prepared for winter, which is coming up in about a month for Rochester. But whatever your needs are, Taylor 500 help can fit you in. You need air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy. They have maintenance plans, financing, because let's be honest, some of us don't have a couple of grand saved up if our furnace and air conditioner go out. But don't sweat those repairs, because Taylor has financing plans that are going to suit your budget for your family needs. So call Taylor. There's the guys to get it done. 24 hours, 500 help. That's Taylor 500 help, and they can help you keep you, nice and cool in the summer and warm in the winter. That's what we want. Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue in Webster. They've been providing Rochester and the surrounding areas the best sales, service, and parts since 1969. They've been around a long time. They know what they're doing. You talk to Kimberly and Justin up there, and they can get you the right piece of equipment for your yard needs. We're talking big or small, new models, services, stock inventory, all your favorite brands, Toro, Spartan, Cub Cadet, whatever you need. Precision Lawn and Garden has it. They have mowers, blowers, chainsaws. Talk to Kimberly and Justin. They will set you up. It's Precision Lawn and Garden for all of your equipment needs in the Rochester and surrounding areas. Make sure you support our advertisers. They support us right here at Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People podcast network, starting now.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in sunny, beautiful 72 degrees Irondequoit, New York. Oh, by the way, it's 88 degrees and cloudy in South Carolina. She loves freedom so much that she took her freedom and just got the hell out of here.
I did.
Here she is. It's Kimberly Ray.
Hey, it is me. I am back. It is Wednesday. It is Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast network. We support all of our patriots who listen to us every single week from all parts of the country and beyond, and we appreciate that. I am joined by Tom. When's your birthday, Tom? I know it's coming up.
September 24th. I will be astounding 58 degrees. No, 58 years old.
I knew it was in September, but you're not a Virgo.
I'm a Libra. That's way better than a Virgo.
Yeah, Libra's
Libra's rock.
Yeah, I don't get Libra people. But anyway, nonetheless, I like Libras. And I knew your birthday was coming up. I was thinking, and I was telling Rich, I said, I thought it was the day of our party last year. Wasn't our party earlier than the 24th?
No, it was right on the date. That's our anniversary. September 24th is our anniversary.
Okay. Very good. So I didn't miss it. I felt all of a sudden I was a little anxious. See?
Well, it's nice that you're thinking of me, Kimberlina.
I'm always thinking of you.
Aw, I'm going to cry.
Chad is in hearings, so he might be with us today, but it might be a little late. He said he was going to try to get here. So and also we have Austin, our producer, making everything happen. And there he is. There's Austin. And of course, thank you to Fitz at Rockbox Productions. That's ROCBOX Productions. If you're thinking about starting up a podcast and you don't really know what direction you want to go. You're not sure you want to buy all the equipment. You can get a hold of Fitz at Rockbox Productions, and he will make all of it happen for you, just like he made it happen for us. Name of today's show is Sticky.
What?
Sticky.
Like in sticky hot, or like in
Like
sticky, like
sticky.
soda on your finger?
Sticky. Sticky is the name of today's show. Carol says Libra is a rock.
Absolutely.
Libra guys are so weird, though.
We're so balanced.
Yeah,
You're
sure
weird.
you are.
Libras are awesome.
Balance. Esther says, hello, Kimberly, ready to listen to the show? I'm glad, Esther, that you're here. Kathy, hi. Glad you guys are all here. Linda, so yeah, we're glad you're Sticky Fingers. Let's go, Brent. It's the name of a rolling, not a name of a Rolling Stone album. Sticky. Sticky is the name of the show. And let me just tell you what. I moved to the South and I'm not complaining.
It's a little sticky down there.
I might have slightly underestimated the humidity. I might have just slightly underestimated the fact that I'm just perpetually sweaty. And while that sounds incredibly hot, I'm like, wow, I'm
No comment on that one.
I'm sticky and sweaty all the time. And I don't know, maybe for you guys that, I know I'm fidgeting, maybe you guys that have lived in Florida for a while, or like half a year, snowbirds or whatever, maybe your body adjusts. Maybe I'm just screwed and I'm gonna be perpetually and monumentally sticky and sweaty forever. But on top of the hot flashes, I'm like, holy hell, it's hot. I go out and walk the dogs in the morning at like 7:30 and I'm just a sweaty mess. And I'm just walking down the road. So anyway, Sticky is the name of today's show.
Yeah, people don't go outside. You know, they just get in there. They're in their air conditioning house, and they get in their air conditioning car and go to their air conditioned work and come back home and get back in their house.
Does my new home have air conditioning? Of course it has air conditioning. Someone's asking. Yes, my home has air conditioning, but I'm still constantly.
She ain't no slumber.
The humidity. I mean, you know, if 10 is the highest and 1 is the lowest for humidity, 10 is always. Humidity is at a 12 here always. So, you know, like in Rochester where we have a heated, like we have a wind, whatever you call it, a wind chill.
Heat index warning.
Yeah, but down here they have like a humidity index. It's freaking off the chart. I'm thinking, and I asked some people that live on the road, does humidity ever get better? Because I talk to everyone when I'm out walking. I can't not talk to people.
Shocking.
But they say, yeah, the humidity kind of stays around till November. And I'm okay with that because by November, you guys are buried under, snow. So anyway, South Carolina Lori says, hi. Yeah, I got to tell you, it's just humidity's crazy. I did underestimate it. I'm sure I'll get used to it. I have another little weird pastime. So
Kinky, pom pom, wow.
I have a weird pastime. So I sit here at the kitchen table a lot, and because our office isn't done yet, things need to be painted, flooring needs to be done, whatever. And I have a window, a wall of windows on this side of me, and then I have a wall of window, well, like 2 windows that are like in front of me as I'm sitting right here. And my neighbors, by the way, my neighbors must not like me because I have been out.
Already? What'd you do?
I need estrogen. Yes, Deborah, I need a whole lot of estrogen.
Get the
I'm on
patch.
estrogen pills, as a matter of fact.
Stick that patch on your ass. That'll help.
I'm on Premarin, which I'm really not supposed to be on, having breast cancer, but it's a thing. Anyway, so my neighbors next door have a passel of kids, right, and 2 German Shepherds, which they leave out all the time, which irritates the shit out of me. Because I believe that your dogs should be inside. If you're going to have dogs, treat them right? And bring them inside like animals should be and let them lay on the couch. I think, Tom, you can agree with me on that.
Yep, I agree.
Your dogs are spoiled, right?
They certainly are, yes.
I feel bad for these German Shepherds because they have the hairy ones. They have the furry ones, the ones that have the extra fur around their neck. You guys know what kind of German Shepherds. There's like regular German Shepherds, and then there's like the
You
furry
mean like
ones.
a Malamute?
It's a Malinois, I think, but these aren't that. I don't know, but they just one of them has bigger fur, and they leave them out all
It's
the
a
time.
Northern Shepherd.
But but nonetheless, so I don't know. There's some weird religion. The daughters all wear the long skirts. I don't know if they're like Loonsberry's religion. But
Quakers.
there's like no, they're not Quakers. I think there's like it's too far south for a Quaker. Come on, Tom. You got to know your regions.
So it's northern Pennsylvania.
So the teenage daughters wear just long skirts and shirts. And I've been out. I have literally been out in the driveway when the mother and father come out and get in their big van. They look at me and say nothing. And I'm like, what the holy shit is this? And I wave, I'm
over here.
they look at me like I'm not even there. Mormons? I think so. I think so. I think they're like some RLDS crazy ass cult offshoot. I don't know.
Amish?
They're not Amish.
Do they have a car?
They have. I'm looking. I'm just sitting here all the time. Like,
Why don't you take your microphone and go over and knock on the door and ask them what the hell's going on?
I'm like Gladys Kravitz.
Did you give them? Did you give them? Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
I'm looking through the blind, and we've counted 9 kids thus far, and it's like
9?
When they get out of the car, it's like a clown car. One night I'm like, holy shit, there's like 6 kids in that car. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like obsessed now with knowing who they are. So I Googled them based on their address. I need something to do.
It looks like it.
But that's what I'm doing now. I'm just obsessed with the neighbors. I want to know what church they go to. I want to know why they have 9 or 10 kids. I want to know why they dress like they do.
Well, I wish we had Chad here. He probably could answer those questions.
I don't know. I'm probably going to get called. They're going to call the cops because they think I'm stalking them. So anyway, yeah. I know. Oh my God, 9 kids. The up and coming Duggars or the Loonsberries. I don't know. I mean, take your pick. Take your pick. All those people think they need to reproduce to the nth degree. But I will say though, the kids are all clean and well behaved and quiet, and you never hear a peep out of them, except they might be outside the occasional weeknight playing basketball in the backyard, which you cannot see. I've tried.
Are you sure they've never left the house for like 20 years and now,
I don't know. They
what
leave
was that one Lifetime or whatever show or it's probably real, where those people where they had all those kids and like 20 kids and they all lived in the house and they
were all locked up. Yeah.
They were all locked up.
It's crazy. But yeah, I will try to get more information as I go on my neighbors who already hate me. They don't even know.
Neighbor saga. Oh, by the way, even with it being as sticky as it is, you look fabulous today.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I am sweaty. I'm constantly doing this. In the South, in the antebellum years and the Civil War years, how in the hell did those women wear all of that crap? I mean, when they lived on the plantation and they had all those layers. I go outside and I want to be naked. Nobody wants to see that. I'm just saying, I want to be naked.
Don't you have a pool?
Yeah, I have a pool.
What is the water, like 107? Why don't you just go in the pool?
I don't know what's wrong with the pool. The water is always cold. I think it's possessed. I think our pool, which is an above ground, is possessed.
Oh, you got a redneck pool.
What's that?
You got a redneck pool?
I got an above ground pool. That's changing probably in the next year or two. Don't tell my husband.
Rich doesn't know it yet.
I'm getting an in-ground pool, but yeah.
Got a lot of other things to do first.
We got a whole list of things to do first. I want to show you a funny T-shirt before we get into the meat of the show. The funny T-shirt I think I need. Can we see that, Austin? Do we have that? Introverted, but willing to discuss cats.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Did I tell you yes, introverted, but willing to discuss cats. That's me. Someone says who knows these people? They never spoke to anyone in the neighborhood. Oh, the Lonsberries? My parents had these same religious folks as neighbors. They never spoke to anyone. Yeah. They don't speak to anyone, these people. Yeah. I need that shirt. That shirt. Did I tell you our little cat drama that we had about so there was a cat that there's a rescue organization, I think it's in Geneseo, had a white Persian that looked just like my Marilyn Monroe. And I looked at that and I said, I got to have that cat. So I reached out to the person that had the cat on Facebook, and she lives in Geneseo, and she finally got back to me. It took her a couple days, but that was okay. And I said, hey, I'm really interested. I want that cat. She looks just like my Marilyn Monroe. I'm used to Persians. I'm used to cleaning their face. I know what to do. It's a lot of upkeep. I'm ready for it. Hearthside cats. Yes, Joy. Hearthside cats. And so I filled out the application, which was lengthy. And then I talked to her, and it turns out the cat's like 7 or 8 years old and has IBS. Now, you know what IBS is, right?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
It's poop yourself all the time. And I've never heard of a
It
cat.
just means it's not litter trained.
I've never had a cat that had IBS, but I guess she was the sweetest girl. And Rich was going to, pick up the cat there and then bring her down with him when he came down. And it turned out she's on this medication and special food. And I already have all 3 cats on special food, and one of them's on medication. And I was afraid that the stress of whatever was going on here, because we're constantly in flux of doing things and having people come over and fix things and whatever, I thought that would make it worse. So I was that close.
Just didn't pull the trigger.
Rich was literally going to go down to Geneseo on a Saturday and pick her up and then bring her down with him the next time he came. So I was kind of heartbroken. I really wanted her, but I can't have a cat with stress level IBS. That cat would be shitting everywhere. My whole house would be a litter box.
Probably a good decision.
So I felt bad about that, and hopefully the kitty, I forget her name. I think the cat's name was Leah. Hopefully Leah found a good home. All right, let's talk about, some of us ladies. Does your wife go out and exercise? Does she go out and take the dogs and go for a walk or go jogging? Because
sure,
your wife is in great shape, by the way.
Well, that's because she thinks she's fat, so she constantly is not eating. It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, she's in great shape. Does she run?
No, she goes for walks, and she works out, and she just really is all diet. She watches what she eats.
Well, what do they say?
I don't watch anything of what I eat.
You can't out-train it. John H. always told us you can't out-train a bad diet.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm screwed.
So it's all about what you put in your mouth. Me too. I eat so much sugar. So I'm walking again in the mornings, and I go out and walk after I walk the dogs. So probably around 8 o'clock in the morning. But I used to run when I lived in Greece, over off a mill. I used to run at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You would see me out, same time, same route, very predictable every single morning, right? Because we're creatures of habit. You run the same route because that route is like 2.5, 3 miles, or it's 4 miles, or you can go a quick 1.5 miles down, a mile back, and you're good. You get your 3 miles in and you're back at your house.
Well, now I know why I've never run in my life, because I'm a creature of habit. Just
right?
never going to do it.
So this woman, Eliza Fletcher, was out jogging, which I think she was a marathon runner. I think this is something, a beautiful girl. She's an heiress. She's a daughter of, I think it was her grandfather, great grandfather, started a big hardware chain in the Memphis area, like 50 years ago. And so it's like $1 billion business now, and she's the heiress to that fortune.
Didn't we have this story on a previous episode, or no, of some nature?
No, this just happened last Friday.
Oh, okay. I
So
thought there was something else.
Last Friday, Eliza Fletcher at 4:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning went out jogging as she normally would. She's married. She is the mother of two. Let's see the family picture. She's the mother of two gorgeous baby boys. She is married to this gentleman right here. Don't know his name, Mr. Fletcher, right? And she goes out for her morning jog, as she regularly does, leaves the house 4 a.m., is jogging around, and she's a teacher, by the way, and she's jogging in the vicinity of the University of Memphis when this POS individual by the name of Cleotha Abston Henderson, 38, who's been in trouble the majority of his life, in and out of prison, is basically kind of stalking her. It's weird because it shows his vehicle, which was a GMC Terrain, just kind of circling the University of Memphis. And I said to my mom when they're doing the story last night, after they found her body, he was looking for college girls who were out running. He was looking for a young female to abduct. We've seen this before, right? Brittany Drexel is someone that looks like you can overpower and drag them into their car, and that's exactly what happened. It's a mother's worst nightmare if you have a daughter that is out jogging, working out in the early morning hours. You're always wondering, okay, call me when you start, call me when you get back, whatever. My daughter jogs every day. But this guy was looking for her. He spots her running, and he kind of stalks her, and he pulls up to her, and it exactly, according to the cameras in the area, you can see it go down. He goes past her, and then he stops and he waits for her. She jogs by, he gets out, pulls her into the car. She's putting up a fight, as you can see on the cameras. He leaves his Adidas slippers at the scene, and he takes off with her. 3 hours later, he's spotted in an apartment complex that belongs to his brother in Memphis, and he's washing out a car. Yesterday, or I think it was the night before, they found her body 7 miles from where she was abducted, near where he was washing out his car. What this guy doesn't know is Tennessee has the death penalty, and I say, why wait? Just put him in front of the firing squad now, because
Just put him down.
this isn't the first time this guy has done this. He was arrested and spent 22 years behind bars for kidnapping a Memphis attorney in 2000. This is basically the same thing. And he drove around and assaulted that lawyer for hours. He was supposed to spend 24 years behind bars. If he had served all of his term behind bars, this lady right here, Eliza Fletcher, beautiful, young, talented, smart, fit mom, would still be alive for her family. But since the justice system decided to let this piece of shit go, she's dead.
Crazy.
Her kids are motherless.
Some of these people just can't function outside of prison. And, maybe after he was out for a little while, he just kind of went, the hell, I'm going to go back and I'm going to take somebody with me. I mean, maybe he how is it that these people get out of prison and they do these crimes and they just go right back in prison? Do they even, if they don't want to be outside of prison, why don't they just say, I don't want to leave? I mean, they think they want to get out, but it seems like they just want to be perennial inmates.
Well, I mean, Kevin Lockhart, who just texted online, says prison is a gift that many criminals
Yeah,
do not deserve.
exactly.
I
Kevin.
couldn't put that any better, Kevin. That is
Right, perfect.
absolutely 100% on the money. And Joy says it too. There's no fixing some of these,
Well, maybe they don't want to be. Maybe they don't want to be fixed.
Hi, Robin. I'm glad you're tuning in.
That opportunity of freedom to get one other person.
Right, exactly.
Did he even try to hide? Was he resisting any kind of arrest? Seems like they caught him pretty easy.
I mean, he left his shoes at the scene.
Right, like he didn't care.
Right?
Right.
Exactly. Records show that this worthless human being had previously been arrested when he was with, it's some kind of, I don't know, project, that he lived in the projects in Memphis. And he was arrested for raping a man and several assaults, all before the age of 16. And he first appeared in juvenile court at the age of 11. At the age of 11. This kid was a lost cause from the age of 11. He was assaulting people and raping people by the age of 16. He assaulted a Memphis attorney and drove that person around in a car for hours, assaulting them before he let them go, and spent 22 years, was sentenced to 24 years and got out 2 years earlier than he was supposed to. Had he served all of his time, he would be in prison today. And
how do these people that sit on these parole boards, how do they sleep at night?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just crazy that incident after incident of, ex-cons committing felonies at an astronomical rate. I mean, maybe it isn't as bad as we think. We don't know the statistics, but it just seems like this happens every day, multiple times.
It's really scary that as an individual, and it could be either a man or a woman. I'm not, going to assign gender to an assault. God forbid, wouldn't want to do that.
Right.
But I mean, it's unfortunate that you have to think to yourself, what's my plan in case I get attacked when I go out running or exercising? If I'm out walking the dogs, what's my plan?
I could tell you my plan. I'm not going.
Right?
Right.
I mean, there's an Orange Theory gym here in the area, and I'm supposed to go tomorrow, and I was really looking forward to it. But then I thought, do I really want to pay the fee of a gym? I'll just go out and walk or run. And then you see a story like this, and you're like, not that anyone would ever want to attempt to kidnap me. One, I think I'm too old. Two, I'm a pain in.
I think they would bring you back, Kimberly.
That's what I think. I'd be a pain in the ass. I'd be like, okay, what's your agenda? What are you going to do? What's your plan? I don't know. I don't think anyone would have me for very long, right? I drive them crazy. What's your itinerary? I don't like these handcuffs. They're really hurting my hands. You can't duct tape me. I'm allergic to the tape. I mean, these are things that I would drive someone crazy with, I'm sure. Right?
Right.
But in all seriousness, I'd like to know from anyone, do people that go out running, do they take mace with them? Had she had mace on her or some kind of pepper spray, would that have been a detractor? Would he have just let her go if she sprayed that in his face? I mean,
worse. I don't know how it could be worse, but
it couldn't be any worse. She's freaking dead.
Right. Yeah.
And they found blood in the car that he tried to clean up. I mean, how are some of our patriots, if you go out and run or walk, and I know that several people that do watch a show do go out and they're runners. They run marathons. They go out beer repellent or a pistol. Well, I'm going to tell you how a pistol got one lady in trouble in Greece today, Olga Martinez.
Did you
She
say
has
deer repellent or beer repellent?
bear repellent.
Oh, bear. I thought you said beer.
Bear repellent.
I could go for some beer repellent. What is that?
Bear repellent or a pistol. Did I say? I might have said beer repellent. I don't know what I said. I don't know. Can I just tell you, there was a guy here the other day to look at the kitchen, and I needed a translator from that. He had such a heavy Southern accent. I was constantly saying, "Excuse me." What? I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What did you say? I felt bad, but I couldn't understand a freaking thing the dude was saying. He had such a heavy, thick Southern accent, but nonetheless. So I would just like to know what people carry your gun. People say carry that. I carry dog spray. A friend suggested bear spray as it sprays farther. Do you think that that would have saved her? I mean, that's the question. How do you protect yourself when you're out running from these freaks and inhumane monsters that are roaming our streets because our judicial system lets them out constantly? How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our daughters? What do I tell my daughter, who, by the way, I mean, she is an officer of the law, but that doesn't make her, someone that they couldn't pick up if they wanted to. I mean, she's tough and she's strong, but this guy who abducted this woman, he's a beast. He's huge.
Yeah.
Have you seen pictures of him?
No, I haven't seen it.
He picked her up like she was a sack of potatoes.
Nah, you don't have to worry about Chloe. She's an Avenger.
Even so, that doesn't make her immune to someone if they really want to abduct you for whatever sick reasoning,
Right.
that they aren't going to be able to get that done. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if they want to get it done, they'll find a way to get it done. I say, hey, you got to carry your gun, right? You're a legal owner, registered firearm. You got to carry your gun because you don't know what kind of freaks are out there. They're everywhere. The freaks and the monsters are everywhere. So there's a road rage incident on Mount Reed this morning. You probably heard about this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the people involved in the road rage incident on Mount Reed was an employee of the Greece School District.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't know what happened, but the road rage incident happened on Mount Reed, and she made a turn. She was on Mount Reed, came down, made a turn, something happened, and she's on Maiden. She's like, I'm just going to work, right? And whatever happened, the person who she got into the road rage incident with her followed her. Right?
Yep, that's happened a couple times to Lori.
It's happened to me.
Yeah.
I have mofoed someone and flipped them off.
Right.
That person ends up following you, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
You're like, this person's following me. He's going to pull up beside me. What is he got a gun? He's going to shoot me because of road rage, because I MF'd him and flipped him off because he pulled out in front of me. I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
he's a fucking psycho.
And there are psychos everywhere.
Right.
There was a movie with Mel Gibson. Was it Mel Gibson? I think it was Mel Gibson. And this lady, she honks at the wrong guy, and it's Mel Gibson, who had just killed his family, and she doesn't know that.
It was
And
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. What was the name of that movie, Austin?
Unhinged.
They're pretty much the same person.
Russell Crowe. He's having a bad day. He just murdered his
I've seen
family.
that movie now that you remind me.
Austin, it was great, wasn't it?
Oh, I love that movie. It's so much fun.
If you've not watched Unhinged, this guy exists everywhere. He exists in South Carolina. He exists in California. He exists in Missouri. He exists in New York. And so this girl honks at him, and she's like, it's not like a honk, it's a honk, honk, honk. And he loses his ever-loving mind, right? And he stalks her and tries to kill her and her son. That's Unhinged. You got to watch it. I don't know what happened on Mount Reed, but this woman turns on Maiden Lane to go to Odyssey. That's where she works. She's a food cafeteria worker at Odyssey. she realizes the person that she got into the road rage incident with is following her. So she's a licensed firearm carrier. She takes out her pistol and she says, "Are we going to have a problem?" or whatever she says. Anyway, this jackass, this piece of crap that followed her to the school. For what reasoning?
Right.
Why were they following her to the school? What were you going to do once she got out of the car? You were following her into the parking lot. For what
He just
purpose?
wanted to give her a piece of his mind, and she didn't want anything to do with. Nobody cares when somebody gets pissed off. Nobody cares what you're thinking. Just let it go.
So she had a gun.
Yeah.
This is how you protect ourselves. No. Not in the state of New York, you don't.
Nope, not anymore.
You are not entitled to protect yourself. You are not entitled to send a message. So, I'm reading all these comments on Facebook. Olga Martinez, by the way. So that person in the car called the cops, called 911. Odyssey was shut down. She never brought her gun into the school. The gun was left in the car, which again is, I don't know. You can't take the gun into the school, but she felt the need to bring a gun with her for whatever reason. She had a permit. She's licensed to carry that gun wherever she goes, right? She's a legal owner.
Mm-hmm.
She leaves it in her car and she goes into school. She's arrested for multiple, violations. And Olga Martinez, loses her job as a food cafeteria worker today. And my thought is, whoever the jackass is that felt the need to follow her is also responsible, right? Where's their ticket for being a jackass? Why are you following someone after a road rage incident? She was going to work. Why the need to follow? Maybe she would have stopped a potential school shooter. I don't know. I don't think you can take a gun onto school property, right? So maybe she felt the need. Maybe she has an abusive boyfriend, husband. For whatever reason, she has a gun permit. She carries a gun. Can I carry a gun when I go jogging and shoot someone who potentially tries to abduct me and pull me into a van? In the state of New York, will they arrest me for that? Am I the bad person that shoots someone as they're trying to abduct me? Do I have to defend myself in a court of law because of that?
Got to self-defense, right?
In Kathy Hochul's New York? No. I think you have to go to court to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Why did you shoot that man? Was he trying to kill you? Honestly, it's screwy in the state of New York. But I'm just wondering.
Well, obviously, this guy, after she pulled in and showed him the gun, he went and called the cops on her.
Because I don't know if it was a male or female. Whoever they are, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
First off, you don't get into a road rage incident and then follow a person. You're asking for trouble. Leave it. Okay, so someone honked at you and flipped you off. Maybe they cut you off in traffic.
Well,
Maybe
didn't we just do this at Longhorn Steakhouse there in Greece?
took someone's parking spot.
Right, for a parking spot.
7:30 in the morning, don't you have better things to do than follow someone who you may have gotten into some kind of deal with on the road? Are you that jacked in your head that you've got I'm going to tell them, give them a piece of my mind. I'm going to follow them to where they work, and I'm going to stop it.
Because somebody didn't use a blinker. They lost their job. Who knows?
Yeah. So, had Eliza Fletcher been armed and shot that worthless piece of human and killed him in Memphis, Tennessee, a wealthy heiress, as he was trying to drag her into a car, would they have somehow flipped that and said she didn't need to kill him?
Probably.
Would there be protests? Would there be burning of things in the street? Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, because they put the criminals on pedestals instead of the way
Now,
around. They don't defend the people; they defend the criminals.
if Eliza Fletcher had been armed and killed Cleophas monster human, she would be the bad person, regardless of this asshole's history, right?
Mhm.
Regardless.
So, what's the moral of the story? Just never go jogging, and never get in your car at 7:30 in the morning, right? So just
Honestly,
always sleep until 8 o'clock, and you'll be fine.
all I can say to Olga Martinez is she did everything right. She had a gun to protect herself for a reason. She used it to scare someone, which is why we have a gun. It's a deterrent.
Right.
What are you doing following me, jackass? I got a gun.
Yeah, she was afraid. She was fearful for her safety. She used the gun as a deterrent, and the person left. So, it sounds like she did the right thing.
Right, exactly.
Not like she shot him.
No.
Right.
But, now she's going to be brought up on multiple charges and whatever. Cameron says, "Hey Kimberly, don't forget to remind people to watch you on YouTube." Yeah, Austin's my producer. Austin's supposed to be reminding me that. Austin,
Everybody watch it on YouTube.
Well, I put a post up. I don't know if you saw it, because we're never going to hit whatever we have to do for Facebook. So you got to get your ass in gear and sign up for YouTube for the paywall. You should be getting paid for this show. I mean, what the hell? Figure it out.
So watch us on YouTube and make sure that you follow our sponsors, Taylor's Heating and Plumbing and Precision Lawn and Garden. We could not do this show without them. So if you need a lawnmower, Precision Lawn and Garden, they're your place. If you need an air conditioner or insulation, or you just want to have them come do an assessment, they can do that as well at Taylor 500 Health. Yes, Tom did put up the post about watching on YouTube. Tony is saying that you did.
Just always sleep until 8 o'clock, and nothing wrong will ever happen to you.
Right. I really wanted to talk about this case with Chad. There is a story out there, speaking of protests and setting fire to cities and such like that, which is what I think would have happened in Memphis if Eliza Fletcher in another world would have been armed and killed her attacker. There would be an uproar. I think we can all agree that regardless of the fact that he spent 20 years in prison for the same crime. And if Tennessee does anything right in this case, they'll put him to death in very short order, because they do have the death penalty. The protests and the riots that happened in May, all throughout the summer of 2020 in Rochester, were pretty violent, right?
Sure.
Wouldn't you say? What happened during the riots and stuff, Tom? Do you remember?
Our police officers had their riot gear on, so I guess that's means it's a riot.
Right? I mean, there were, fires set, there were people turning over cars, it was mayhem. They were breaking windows, they were setting fire to businesses, tear gas, they were firing the tear gas balls, they were firing rubber bullets. It was pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, seems like it.
Would you say?
That's why I was home, like normal people, right? Wouldn't you stay home when that was going on?
If you were a pregnant girl,
exactly.
Would you have been down in the middle of the riots when there was all this craziness going home, or would you have been worried about your safety and the safety of your unborn child at that point in time?
You would think so.
I mean, if there were violent protests going on in the city of Rochester, and I, as a 20-something woman, was pregnant, I would say to myself, I'm a responsible, decent human being who cares about my unborn child, and I'm not going to go down there and get in the thick of it, because who knows what craziness can go on, right? That's what smart people think about. There's a lawsuit against the city of Rochester.
A frivolous one.
The Rochester Police Department. A Rochester woman is suing RPD, the city of Rochester, and Monroe County, claiming she suffered a miscarriage because of the September riots, where she was on a bridge that RPD fired tear gas at some of the protesters to get them off the bridge so they would disperse off of the bridge to allow traffic. The protesters at that point in time did not have a permit to protest. It was not a peaceful protest. It was an unplanned protest, and they did not have a permit. She claims she suffered a miscarriage after they used tear gas to disperse the crowd. That lady's name is Jessie Ames. She is 35 years old. She said she was a participant in the protest September 4th of 2020. That night, police officers used a tactic known as kettling to confine protesters on the Court Street Bridge and then used the tear gas to drive them off the bridge, right? The lawsuit alleges that Jessie Ames, 35 and pregnant, 35, should know better. You're a 35-year-old woman who's pregnant. Shut up, you're at the protest. Are you serious with me? Shut up. But she was, and now claims that the tear gas caused her to miscarriage.
Well, is there any chance that she can actually prove that, right? Probably not. So I think she's just looking for a settlement here, right? And hope that they'll give her one. I mean,
I wouldn't give her shot.
This doesn't seem like a case at all. I mean, how could she prove that?
I wouldn't give her a damn thing. Jessie Ames, A-M-E-S, 35.
There's no way to prove that.
Somebody knows her. I don't know who knows her, but someone knows her.
Someone knows everybody, Kimberly.
Yeah. So she says, as a result of the tear gas canisters, she claims to have suffered skin irritation and a miscarriage. She later had to undergo a DNC at the hospital. She is represented by Elliot Shields, an attorney in New York City that is employed by the law firm of Roth and Roth. So reached by phone, her attorney says he has filed a lawsuit based on there's precedent out of the Portland protests, right?
Of course there is.
Another crazy ass city.
Right.
Right? Another city that no one wants, they're fleeing in droves.
So how much was her baby worth?
I don't know. We're
Right.
not going to know, but I'm going to tell you, if I were sitting on that, whatever it is, if I'm making the decision, Jessie Ames doesn't get a damn dime. You know, in fact, you could, if she is going to say that the city caused her miscarriage, then I'm going to charge her with child abuse of her unborn child for actually using horrible judgment and going to a protest that she knew based on prior protests that it was going to be violent.
She didn't believe her child was a child at that point, Kimberly.
You took your, but now it's a child where she could get money, right?
I'm not sure how that works. I didn't think it was a baby until it was born.
You took your unborn child into a dangerous situation. You get charged with child abuse. If she wants to sue because she says that the city and RPD officers caused her to miscarry and lose her baby, then I want her charged with child abuse for taking her child into an unsafe situation. Screw you, bitch. Come at all day long. I wish I would have gone to law school. I would have torn it up.
Yeah, you'd have lost your license by now.
I'd be treading softly every day, kind of like Chad does. But I wanted to talk to him about this because I mean, it's possible, right, that you could bring her up on charges for child abuse. She willfully and knowingly took her unborn child into a very bad situation. Right?
So what happened in Portland? Did you follow up that story as to what that?
So I did. So apparently in Portland, there was a case. It's that some of these tear gas agents are known to cause according to the Portland case, reproductive and developmental toxicity. In other words, defendants, were subjected to the potential risk based on the tear gas canisters that were fired from Portland PD. And it's still going through the process, but a 2020 study following racial justice protests in Portland found that 899 people who menstruate, or 54% of the responders, experienced symptoms such as increased menstrual cramping.
Maybe it was the COVID shot they took at the same time.
After they were subjected to tear gas. And I don't know about you guys, and I know this is a horrible, gross thing to talk about, but quite frankly, your periods vary month to month. It could be, you could have great, no cramps one month.
Mine are regular every month.
You could be on death's door the next month, right?
Sure.
That's just the thing. Hi, Dixie Doodle. Dixie Doodle needs to go out. Anyway, so I just thought I'm going to be watching this case. Basically, her attorney in New York says that RPD used these tear gas canisters knowing that they could cause harm to the reproductive system. Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't see how that's going to.
Bullshit.
That doesn't seem logical to me.
But that's just a story that's happening in Rochester that could have national effect as well. And I thought it was interesting that they listed a Portland case that is currently going through the process there as part of the precedent.
I have exciting news today.
You do?
You want to hear it?
Yes.
All right, Austin, put the picture up. Guess what's tomorrow? It's baby Sophia's birthday tomorrow. She's going to be 1 year old. Look at that.
Look at that beautiful girl.
She's going to be 1 tomorrow. We're so excited.
Can't believe it.
Yep. Seems like yesterday.
Look how beautiful.
I'm going to be dead before I know it. Just time keeps going by.
That is crazy. Who took those pictures?
I don't know. I'll have Danielle. Maybe she can post on there who the photographer is that took those pictures, but they did a beautiful job. She
is the cutest. That little dress. Wow.
Right.
Who dresses her? Grandma?
No, I think that's all Danielle.
Really?
She watched a lot of Friends. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. That baby is too cute. Are you still babysitting?
No, God, no. I'm not capable. I can't even babysit myself, let alone another kid.
Oh, my neighbors just drove in.
Uh-oh, go outside. What are they doing?
Gotta see. No, I just spy on them from the window. Yeah, so she's just super cute.
Did you hear Lori goes to me the other day, she goes, did you hear about that Pennsylvania woman that was killed by a shark attack in the Bahamas? She was on a shore excursion from a Royal Caribbean ship. You believe that?
I saw that.
How do they not, this is on an actual excursion where you're going snorkeling. Mm-hmm. This is supervised. How do they not have a place where they can, keep the sharks out? It seems crazy. It's not like they were, snorkeling. You
cannot be serious.
Well, they
cannot.
They can get them to shoo away, right? With boats or something.
One little thing. Okay, crazy. Let me just give you a little hint about where sharks live. Okay.
I get that, yes.
Sharks live in the ocean. We're interfering in their territory. Right. This is where they live. You can't keep the sharks out of their own habitat, Tom, because your bougie ass wants to go snorkeling. Okay?
Right. Well, apparently the Bahamas is like the hottest place in the world to get eaten by a shark.
It happened in Hawaii.
The sharks are more aggressive there than they are in other places of the world.
It happened in Hawaii a couple of days ago too. But I'm just going to say, you take your life in your own hands every time you go in the ocean.
No, I don't think I agree with that, because you go on these shore excursions and you pay the cruise ship to.
They can't keep you from getting stung by an eel or a jellyfish, or It's their domain. It's like if you go into the woods hiking in the Adirondacks or wherever you go in
They
Montana.
could do something. They could have another boat, a little ways away and dump some chum
Okay,
in the water and get the sharks to go
100%.
away.
You're crazy.
No, they
100%.
could do something.
No, they can't.
Royal
The
Caribbean is screwed on that deal.
sharks, no, they're not. Use your common sense. Sharks live in the ocean. You are impeding on their domain. Forget it.
Well, other than that, Nassau is a very beautiful place to go. So what else have you got today? You got anything else?
I got nothing else. We're out of time. I do have someone showing up here for the house in like 2 minutes.
All right.
So we have to wrap this thing up today. So I'm glad all of our Patriots showed up today. I have 2 other topics. I don't know. Maybe we can do a quick half-hour show tomorrow, depending on how you feel or whatever. If Chad wants to sit in for a second.
Okay.
Are the Bills playing tomorrow?
They're playing tomorrow night. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Playing the defending champion Los Angeles Rams.
Go Chiefs.
Oh, can I ask a stupid question? Why can't the freaking Kansas City Chiefs ever come to Buffalo? Are they just afraid of us? They're always ducking us. We always have to go to Kansas City. I mean, what the hell?
Don't
Why
cry.
can't they ever come here?
As you get your butts whipped every time you come to. Let me just say this: when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper.
Right. Okay.
All right, go Chiefs, go Bills. That's going to do it for us on Kimberly's Revolution. We thank all of our Patriots. Listen to us, subscribe on YouTube. Please watch and listen on YouTube. Subscribe, it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. We love it if you subscribe to us. And
You gotta go through all the paperwork. Would you do that? You should be getting paid for this.
I don't know how to do it. I have to figure it out.
Does anybody know how to help Kimberlina get her YouTube account to be a paid?
Monetize the YouTube? I don't know.
Because you got
All
enough followers and you've got enough minutes. You should be getting
We
paid.
should. We should. All right. As
Maybe
always,
at least give it to the cat charity. It's at least give it to somebody.
I know.
YouTube
Thumbs up.
doesn't need it. God bless. Be kind to others.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all